students, I welcome you all in the next lecture of Mathematics 1. From the previous lecture, we have started with revision of chapter number 4, that is ratio and proportion. In the previous lecture, we have understood the meaning of the word ratio, and afterwards we have studied properties of ratios. And from that, whatever solved examples were given, those solved examples we have discussed. I told you that solved examples are also equally important. They also can come in exam. Okay, so please do not ignore them. You need to practice solved examples also. Now, let us go towards practice set 4.1. Here from practice set, certain sums I gave as homework in the regular lecture. But now I am solving all the sums so that you will get better practice of this. Those who have not solved them previously, now they can solve them. Okay. So the first question here, from the following pairs of numbers, find the reduced form of ratio of first number to the second number. So here you can find that in the question two numbers are provided and we have to find the reduced form of these. Reduced form of the ratio here of first quantity to second quantity, or first number is to second number. Okay. So let's start with first one. The numbers are 72 and 60. So we want to find out ratio of 72 to 60. Okay. So that we will write as 72 is to 60. And you know that ratio means division. So that we can write as 72 divided by 60. Now as I have told you previously, please see that these two numbers, they are in which table. And also think of the maximum or highest number. Like see, these numbers are there in table of 2 also. These numbers are there in table of 3 also. These numbers are there in table of 4 also. Means we can divide them by 2, we can divide them by 3, we can divide them by 4 also. Okay. But you have to think of the highest number or the biggest number. So the biggest number which we can think of is 12. These two numbers, they come in the table of 12. 72 we can write as 12 into 6. And 60 we can write as 12 into 5. So easily you can see that here 12 and 12 will get cancelled and we will get the reduced form as 6 upon 5. How to understand whether you have achieved the reduced form? That you have to see these numbers, and here these two numbers, they should not come in any table, or these two numbers, they should not be divisible by any number other than 1. Okay. So here 5 and 6, they are consecutive numbers. That means we have achieved the reduced form. And always write down the answer in the form of ratio. The reduced form here is 6 is to 5. Okay, this is question number 1. Now let us go towards question number 2. That is 38 and 57. So we have to write down the ratio of 38 to 57. So that we will write as 32 is to 57, which is equal to 38 is to 57. So that is equal to 38 upon 57. Now these two numbers, 38 and 57, they are in the table of 19. We can write down 38 as 19 into 2, and we can write down 57 as 19 into 3. Now if you can't recall such big tables, you have to subtract these two numbers and you will get the answer that they are in which table. For example, 57 minus 38, the answer is 19. Okay, so the difference is 19. So you can think of the table of 19, that 19 2s are 38 and 19 3s are 57. So 19 and 19 is cancelled and the answer is 2 upon 3, which we are going to write as 2 is to 3. Okay. Previously we have solved these sums. Those who have not solved and those who want to complete, they can pause the video and they can write down the answer. Okay. Now let us go towards the third question, that is 52 and 78. The next numbers are 52 and 78. So what we are going to write it as the ratio of 52 to 78. That is 52 is to 78, which is equal to 52 upon 78. Again, if you subtract 78 minus 52, you are going to get the number 26. So they are in table of 26. 26 2s are and 26 3s are. And therefore the reduced form is 2 upon 3, which we are going to write as 2:3. Okay, previously this sum was given as homework. Now I have solved it for you so that you can understand it better. Okay, so I hope you must have understood how to write down the reduced form of the ratio when they are simply the numbers. Here unit is not given, so directly we are writing the number. In the properties we have studied that whenever we want to find the numbers, the two quantities, they should have the same units. Here no unit is there, so we don't have to think about it, only numbers are there. So we have simply found out the reduced form of these two numbers. Okay, let us go further towards question number 2. Find the reduced form of the ratio of first quantity to second quantity. Now you will observe that here the examples are not simply the numbers. In front of numbers you can see unit also. Okay, everywhere you can see some unit is given. So here we have to use that property that both the quantities should be in same unit, then and then only we can find out the ratio. Like here you can see that these two numbers, or they have the same unit, that is rupees. So we can find out the ratio directly here. But observe here now 14 rupees and 12 rupees 40 paise, they are not in the same unit. So simply we cannot find out the ratio with the given numbers. We have to first convert them to the same unit and then we can find out the ratio. Okay. So from this second question, question number 5 and 6 is cancelled. Take a note of that. It is told to you so many times. Once again I am telling you. So now let us start with the remaining 4 sums. Previously I solved only 2 sums and remaining 2 I gave as homework. But now in revision lecture I am solving all the sums. Okay. So first one, rupees 700 is to rupees 308. You can find that the ratio can be found out directly with the given numbers. There is no need to convert it because the unit is same. Okay. So let us find out the ratio. So we can write down it as 700 upon 308. Now these two numbers, they are divisible by 28. 700 we can write as 28 into 25 and 308 we can write as 28 into 11, and therefore the answer is 25 upon 11, that is 25 is to 11. Now directly I have taken the number 28 here, I wrote because I was knowing it. But if you can't think of such big numbers, I told you previously also, first you divide by the smaller number. For example, you know that these last two digits 00 and 08, they are divisible by 4. That means you can divide these numbers by 4. So first you divide by 4. Okay. And afterwards again you will find out that the numbers which are obtained, they are divisible by 7. So divide again by 7. And then also you can obtain it. Okay, it is not so that you should find it in one step only. You can first divide by smaller number and then also you can obtain the answer. Okay, so here the answer is 25 is to 11. Now the second one, 14 rupees and 12 rupees 40 paise. Okay, so this is the question. Now here what we can observe is the units are not same. Here only rupees is there and here you can see rupees and paise is there. So directly we cannot write down 14 upon, and here see this 12.4 we cannot write down. Okay, so here point is not there, so you cannot think of that. So here you have to convert. You know that 100 paise is equal to 1 rupee. That is why you will convert this 14 rupees by multiplying it by 100. So rupees 14 will be 14 into 100, that is 1400 paise. Similarly, rupees 12 paise 40 we can write as 12 into 100, means these 12 rupees are converted to paise plus these 40 paise are added. So the answer is 1240 paise. Now you can see that these two quantities, they are in same unit, and therefore now we can find out the ratio. We can write down this as 1400 divided by 1240. So here these two zeros you can cancel, and then you will get 140 upon 124. Now these two numbers are divisible by 4. You cannot divide them by any bigger number. Okay, the highest number possible here is 4. So we are writing 140 as 4 into 35 and 124 as 4 into 31. And so the reduced form is 35 upon 31, that is 35 is to 31. Okay. So I hope you must have understood how to convert it. Let us go further towards the third one. 5 liters and 2500 ml. Again you will find that the unit is not same here. So you need to convert it. Okay. So let us see this question. 5 liter and 2500 ml. Okay, what you will find here is 5 liters is not written, liter is written. So keep this in mind. Unit is always written in singular form. You cannot put s to it. Okay. So 5 liter and 2500 ml. So convert it. These 5 liters we will convert to ml. We know that 1000 ml is equal to 1 liter. So we can convert these 5 liters into ml. Or you can convert this ml into liters also. Your choice. Okay. So let us do it. 5 liters is equal to 5 into 1000, that is 5000 ml. And this 2500 ml as it is. Now let us find out the ratio. How we are going to write? 5000 divided by 2500. Okay. So here what I did is I wrote this 5000 as 2500 into 2, and this I wrote as it is. So the answer is 2:1. What you can do is you can cut these two zeros, and then you can write down 50 as 25 twos and 25 as 25 ones. That also will do. Here simply I wrote by doing into, because I know that the double of 2500 is 5000. So I wrote into 2 and here into 1, and then I found out the ratio as 2 upon 1, that is 2:1. Okay. Now let us move towards the last one, that is fourth one. 3 years, 4 months and 5 years, 8 months. Here also we can see two different units are there, years and months, years and months. So we have to convert it to same unit. We have to convert them to months. So think of the conversion. In 1 year we have 12 months. That means 1 year is equal to 12 months. So let us convert now first 3 years and 4 months. So 3 years and 4 months we can write as 3 into 12. These years we are converting into months, plus these 4 extra months are added. So 12 into 3, 36 plus 4. The answer is 40 months. Similarly, convert 5 years and 8 months. Okay, so 5 years and 8 months we can write as 5 into 12 plus 8. So 12 5s are 60 plus 8, that is 68 months. Okay, now they are in same units. So let us find out the ratio. 40 divided by 68. So 40 divided by 68. Again, these two numbers are divisible by 4. 40 we can write as 10 into 4, and 68 we can write as 17 into 4. And therefore the ratio is 10 upon 17, that is 10:17. Okay, so these two sums I gave as homework previously. Now I have solved them for you. If you want, you can write them down. Okay, those who have understood, those who have already solved, there is no need to write. But those who want to write, they can write it. Okay, let us go further now towards the next question here. Question number 3. Express the following percentages as ratios in the reduced form. You know that percentage is a special kind of ratio whose second term is 100. Always the second term is 100. Now here the symbol percentage is given. It means that 6.25 is 200. Okay, even though that is 200 is not written, it is present there because this symbol percent means what? Per 100. That is why upon 100 is present here, or is 200 is present here. Okay, so this is 200 is same as this percentage symbol. Keep that in mind. Okay, here also the percent symbol is given. Now from this I am solving first, second, third and fifth. Fourth one is very easy, which you can solve. Okay, they are simply numbers. So here you can write this 52 as 13 fours are and 100 as 25 into 4. So 4 will get cancelled and your answer will be 13 is to 25. Correct? So I am not solving this. I am solving remaining all 4. Okay, so let us start with first one, that is 75 is to 100. This is ratio. So we can write down it in the form of 75 upon 100. Okay, this 75 is to 100 is same as 75 upon 100. Now 75 and 100 I can express as 25 into 3 and 25 into 4 respectively. 25 3s are 75 and 25 4s are 100. So the ratio in reduced form is 3 upon 4, that is 3 is to 4. Okay, in this way you can write down the percentage in reduced form. Let us go towards the next sum, that is sum number 2. 44 is 200. So now this 44 is 200 you can write as 44 upon 100. So these two are divisible by 4. 44 we can write as 4 into 11 and 100 we can write as 4 into 25. You will see that everywhere you will get the same factors. Okay, 25 into 4, here also 25 because mostly 100 comes in the table of 25 and everywhere, or 25 and 4 are the common factors which are used for 100. So you can see that these two factors are same. Okay, so again here this 4 will get cancelled and your answer is what? 11 upon 25, that is 11 is to 25. Okay, so in this way 44 is 200 can be written as 11 is to 25 in the reduced form. Now let us go towards the third one, that is 6.25%. Okay, so 6.25% we can write as 6.25 upon 100. I told you that percent means what? Per 100. Now here we don't want this decimal point. So to remove that decimal point, here we have multiplied by 100 in the denominator. I told you how to do it. Count the places after decimal point 1 and 2, and that many zeros you should have in the denominator. Okay, on 1 you have to give that many zeros. So this 100 is already present, and 6.25 we wrote as 625 upon 100. Got it? Now the next step to reduce it. Now if you multiply here 100 into 100 you will get 10,000, and then you cannot think of how to split it, you cannot think of the factors. So instead what you do, you factorize all these three numbers. You know that 625 is square of 25, that you can write as 25 into 25. And the factors of 100 I told you, they are 25 into 4, 2 times, because we have 2 times 100. So you can see that 25, this 25 will get cancelled. Similarly this 125 and this 25 will get cancelled. So here 1 into 1 is 1. Even though 25 and 25 are cancelled, don't think that nothing is left into numerator. 1 is always present there. Okay, so in numerator you will have 1 and 4 into 4, 16. So you will get the answer as 1 upon 16, which you can write as 1 is to 16. Right? So this way you can convert 6.25% in the reduced form as 1 is to 16. Okay, as I have said, fourth one you will solve by yourself, which is very easy. 52 is 200, that you will solve by yourself. So I am now discussing the last one, that is fifth one, which is similar to this, but here now you have 0.64%. So similar steps you are going to follow. 0.64% is same as 0.64 divided by 100. See, all the steps are similar. Now here we want to remove this decimal point. So we are going to write this 0.64 as 64 upon 100. Got it? Now as I have said, don't go for multiplication. Instead go for factorization. This 64 is a perfect cube of 4. 64 we can write as 4 into 4 into 4. And these factors, you know, 100 you can write as 25 into 4 and 25 into 4, because 100 we have 2 times. So here what you can see, this 1 4 will get cancelled with this 4. This second 4 will get cancelled with this second 4. And in the numerator, 1 into 1 into 4. So answer is 4. And in the denominator, 25 into 25. Answer is 625. So the answer is 4 is to 625. This way 0.64 we can write as 4 is to 625. This was discussed by me in the regular lecture, but this sum I didn't discuss. I gave this as homework. So if you want, you can copy it down. Those who have not done it, those who have not understood this sum, please copy it down. Okay. Let us go further now. Question number 4, which is a word problem, and this problem based on the concept of variation. In the previous lecture we have seen what is variation. There are two types of variations: direct variation and indirect variation or inverse variation. Also it is called as direct proportion and inverse proportion. So after reading the question, you must understand that which type of variation is present here in this particular question. So let us read the question. 3 persons can build a small house in 8 days. To build the same house in 6 days, how many persons are required? So this is about the work done and the number of persons required. So easily you can think that if the number of persons are increasing, then the number of days are going to reduce. Got it? So here the inverse variation is present here. Direct variation means what? If one quantity is increasing, other also is increasing. Like cost of the thing and its numbers. Okay, if numbers are increasing, the cost is increasing. But here, if number of days are decreasing, then the number of persons should increase. Okay, so that means here inverse variation is present. So that you need to understand first. And then you know that in case of direct variation, division is constant. That means ratio is constant. And in case of inverse variation or inverse proportion, multiplication is constant or product is constant. Okay, so let us start writing that. So first of all, we have to write about the proportion or variation. The number of persons and the number of days required to build the house are in inverse proportion, which we have recognized, which we have understood by reading the question. So here inverse proportion is present, and then write down, in case of inverse proportion, the product of here is constant. So the product of number of persons and number of days is constant. So see here, number of persons are how many here? 3. and product means into. So what we can write down? Therefore 3 into 8, and here we have unknown. We have to find out how many persons are required. So those unknown persons we will take as X. Let X persons are required to build the house in 6 days. So now we have the product. Here we have 3 into 8 and here we have X into 6, and these two products are equal. What we can write down? X into 6 is same as 3 into 8, and from that to find X, this 8 we can take in denominator. So we can write down that X is equal to 3 into 8 divided by 6. 3 8s are 24 divided by 6. The answer is 4. So the value of X is what? 4. So what we can say here, to build the house in 6 days, we need 4 persons, or 4 persons are required to build the house in 6 days. Okay. So simply you have to write down the final answer as a statement. I told you that writing the final answer as a statement is important. It carries half mark. Okay. So if you want, you can write it down. Previously also you have written. Those who have not seen the video previously and now if you are watching it and if you want to write it, you can pause the video and you can write down the answer. Okay. Now let us go towards the next question. Question number 5. Convert the following ratios into percentage. Okay. So here this is exactly opposite of question number 3. There the percentage was given and we need to find reduced form. But now here the ratios are given and we need to find the percentage. We need to find percentage means what? This second number should be 100. You know that percentage is the ratio where the second quantity is 100. So we want the second quantity as 100. I told you that this type of sums can be solved by using 2 methods. Let us see those methods. Question number 1. 15 is to 25. So that we can write as 15 upon 25. Now I want the second quantity as 100. So I will try to multiply or divide here by any constant number so that I will get 100. I know that 25 4s are 100. So if I multiply 25 by 4, I am going to get 100. But simply I cannot multiply in denominator. I have to multiply both the places, numerator as well as denominator. So both the places we are multiplying by 4. 15 into 4 upon 25 into 4. So 15 4s are 60 and here 25 into 4 100. So the ratio is 60 is to 100, which you can write as 60%. Okay, I told you that is to 100 is same as this simple percent. Or the second method, where if you want to convert into the percentage, you write down the given ratio in the numerator denominator form and simply multiply it by 100. So see, 15 upon 25 into 100. So 25 4s are 100. You can divide here, and so 15 into 4, answer is 60%. Okay, so either you can use this method or you can use this method. Okay. So let us go towards the next one, that is question number 2. 47 is to 50. I am using this second method. I think you also will prefer the same method because it is very easy. So we can write this as 47 upon 50 into 100. That is 47 into 2, 94%. Correct? Then next 7 upon 10, which we can write as 7 upon 10 into 100. 10 10s are 100. So 7 into 10, answer is 70%. Very easy to find. Next one, question number 4, which I have solved by first method. Okay, 546 upon 600. This 600, if I want to convert into 100, I need to divide by 6. So I have divided both the places by 6. And so the answer is 91 upon 100. That is 91%. And the last one, fifth one, 7 upon 16. So 7 upon 16 into 100. So 7 into 100 700 divided by 16, because we cannot cancel here. 100 is not coming in table of 16, so cancellation is not possible. So we are multiplying 700 divided by 16. You need to actually divide it, and then you will find that the answer is 43.75%. Okay, so in this way you are going to convert the ratios into percentage. Okay students, so today I am stopping here. In the next lecture we will revise the remaining sums, okay, and the remaining concepts. Thank you students.